Hello and welcome back to another episode of World War II in the Eyes of the Beholder. I'm Matthias. Today we will be looking at the Normandy invasions. This week we'll be doing episode 1, and then next week we'll be doing episode 2, because there's a lot of them. There's 7 of them. So we'll start with this week we'll be doing Utah, Omaha, Point du Hoc. Yeah, so those 3. So let's get into it. So the Normandy invasions were crucial in the taking of Europe. One, because it was another front that they opened up that the Germans could not defend as well. So by June of 1944, you have 3 fronts in your one front. Germany is fighting Russia. It's fighting when we attacked Sicily, it's fighting those troops that moved up towards Italy. And they're now fighting Normandy, the people that landed there. So Normandy was very crucial in liberating Europe, and it helped a lot in the European war effort in getting France and other places back. Some reasons why I see it would be helpful that they landed in France is it's closest to England. France and England are very close and they border each other, making it easy to get troops and supplies in and out. They actually had a Operation Pluto, was pipeline under the ocean, Pluto, and it was a pipeline that ran through the British Canal from England to Normandy, supplying everyone there with fuel. Okay, so the Normandy invasion was a good spot, and when they liberated France, France can now fight with England. So we will be talking about Utah. These are mostly American beaches. In the next episode, we'll be doing British and Canadian beaches. So after each one I explain, I will have photos, so stick around because you can see some interesting photos from that. My great uncle actually died on Utah, the first beach that we're going to talk about. So, yeah. We actually went to France. We lived in England a few years ago. It was pretty cool. We got to see all the beaches and stuff. So that was cool. Normandy invasion part 1. It is 6:30 a.m. and the gate drops. You run out of your landing craft to have a hail of bullets spraying down on you. Welcome to bloody Omaha. So Omaha Beach was the worst beach of all of Normandy, which is partly why it's called Bloody Omaha. And you can put together why it's called Bloody Omaha. It was the smallest too, only 5.9 kilometers wide. The location of the beach was shifted by accident due to strong tides. So when the landing crafts were going this way, because they did not have a strong motor, and the tides were very strong. Instead of going front, they were doing this. So they were off by a few miles. And also, being off by a few miles meant that when the Allies bombed the beach days before then, for cover and for people to have cover when getting to the place, they did not have cover. Okay, so over 2,000 U.S. troops from the 16th Regiment of the 1st Infantry Division, the big red one as it was known, and it's the 1st Infantry Division, so. And the 16th Regiment of the 29th Infantry Division died when 2,000 died, captured, went missing, or were injured. It was so bad, 40% of all units landed on Omaha died. So out of 100 people, 40 died, which is not good at all. That's a lot of people. And people say that if you've seen the movie Saving Private Ryan, it's pretty accurate. Yeah, so that's just a good scale of. So, over 34,252 soldiers landed on Omaha Beach in the next week. Some of the problems at Omaha Beach were the bombs were supposedly dropped on Omaha, were missed. leaving leaving open beaches for the men to charge, heavy machine gun fire, and thirdly, a smaller defense unit that was supposed to be there when we did our reconnaissance in 1943 and early 1944 had switched to the bigger 352nd Germany Infantry Division, which it was phenomenal. It killed a lot of people, and it was not good for the Allies. So there was that and the tanks. There were supposed to be around 30 tanks that landed on the beach, but because their flotation devices did not work, very few of them made. And if they did, they were shelled by heavy mortar fire, which exploded them, and debris and stuff. It was just not good. And again, the tanks weren't strong enough to hit the pillboxes. So that was the problems. But Omaha did survive. Omaha did work out. And we did take the beach with great losses. And we were thankful for the people that died there. And it was hard to get, but we got it. So here's some pictures of that. The next beach that we will be talking about is Utah. So Utah is kind of a really difficult subject because Utah was actually in between. They had paratrooper divisions and it was all funky and wild and stuff. So it is 8 p.m. before the invasion, and the U.S. High Command decides to make a 5th beach. So this was like kind of last minute. To have immediate access to the dock and fishing port of Cherbourg. It is given the name Utah after the state of Utah. And on June 6, 1944, a lot of men landed there. It is 6 a.m. in the morning, and the U.S. lands 21,000 troops of the 4th Infantry Division and the 78th Tank Battalion on Utah. So there were a lot of tanks there, quite a bit. That was the U.S.'s port where they got a lot of their troops and stuff on. The mission was to secure the Khotan Peninsula so they could use the already made port of Cherbourg to land supplies and reinforcements. The beach was very easily taken with only 196 casualties and 60 missing in action. So it's just kind of sad that my uncle was part of that the 196 that died on the 6th. So another thing is the paratroopers did have a very crucial mission, but there were a lot more lives lost because of the paratroopers. Though it's kind of separate, and I don't think it really counts as Utah Beach. It was more inland. So on the 5th of June, the 101st and the 82nd Paratrooper Divisions landed 14,000 U.S. troops inland of Utah behind enemy lines. The mission was to secure the bridges nearby, and connect 2 parts of Utah. The mission was a success, but with 2,499 casualties in total, deaths. So in total, with even with the people on the beach, there are 1,456 U.S. soldiers killed, 3,000 wounded, 1,000 missing, and 26 captured. So heavy losses for the paratrooper division, but it was successful, and it helped a lot to connect 2 parts of Utah. It worked well with the lives of many. So on June 6, 1944, this is a little-known beach. I mean, a lot of people may know about it, but it's not really recognized as a beach because it's itty bitty. It's like one part of, it's not even a mile. So on June 6, 1944, the U.S. lands the 2nd Ranger Division a few miles east of the fishing port Grand Camp on the coast of France. The location was called Pointe du Hoc. The mission was to destroy the artillery at the top of the 100-foot cliff. That could destroy Allied ships. It was in range of that. They were big guns. The casualties were great. Of the 225 Rangers that landed, 135 were killed, wounded, or went missing or were captured. So that's 65, that's about 80 soldiers that were unharmed of the 225, which, well, it's a lot of soldiers that were killed on this action. But of the 6 cannons supposedly on the top of the cliff, 5 were telephone poles, and the 6th was damaged from the bombing that took place on the earlier days of that week. Which is actually kind of funny, because if you look in the pictures of the bombing, you see that the one pillbox where the cannon was, and you just see all these bomb craters everywhere from the bombing, and it's crazy. It was a lot of bombing, heavy bombing. So the cannons were useless, but there were 50 Germans killed and 40 captured. The cliff was captured on the 8th of June so it was captured 2 days later. The whole mission took 2 days. So you're sleeping on the mountain for at least one night, because they have to get up. They have to climb ladders, or they have to shoot their grapples to the top to climb and get rid of the Germans on the top there. But some problems were they did bring in ducks with machine guns on the ladders. That did help a lot. But when you're climbing the ladder, the Germans would throw Molotovs. If you don't know what a Molotov, it's like it's a stick grenade. It's like a grenade with a stick on the end that the Germans used. So they'd be throwing those down. They'd be throwing rocks, anything they could throw down on you. So there were great casualties there, and a lot of people died there, but it was for a good cause. And though there were not, most of that, we got fooled by the 6 cannons that were not usable there. So it was taken. It took a while, but we did it. So here's some pictures of that. If you would like to see my other videos, I'm starting a series of the European battles, and they're pretty cool. I'll have Dunkirk and the Battle of Britain and Normandy Part 2 in this link in the description below. So that will be cool. So check those out. Like, subscribe, ring the notification bell if you wanna. I'm trying to put out a video at least once a week. So because I have other stuff in my week too. So I'll try to put one out once a week, and comment below about what you think about these beaches and just how you think they could improve. And comment below if you have any ways that I can improve, or you have any ideas of videos that you would like me to make. So thank you for watching.